Okay, now you can go anytime you want.
Right. Kate, I understand the Democrats on the Board of Trustees have lost the lawsuit. Could you just briefly summarize for us?
Yesterday, that's the 12th of July, the decision was handed down from White Plains that essentially found in favor of James Noletti and Paul Noto in the matter against Trustee Hofstetter, Ottinger, and myself. It's a very complicated thing, which we really don't have time to discuss here, but essentially the judge found that we did not have the right to abolish the position of a village attorney, even though there is a conflict of interest that the current village attorney, James Noletti, is in law practice with one of the village justices, and that precludes him from appearing for the village in court.
So is an appeal being considered?
We are thinking about appeal. Our attorney tells us that he thinks we'd have a very good chance on appeal, but we have not had an opportunity to meet with him and to discuss the matter.
On other village matters, can you update us on the light situation at Harbor Island Lonza Field?
I can update you on certain aspects of it, I think. As you know, there is a lawsuit pending, which keeps me from talking really about certain SEQRA matters, environmental quality review matters, but there are certain engineering matters that I'd like the audience to be aware of. We had insisted, in fact, had moved and made resolutions that the drawings be signed by a licensed engineer, and had also insisted that soil borings be taken, really based on the advice of residents who came to us, including the former village engineer, saying that the soil down there was landfill and really was not just average density soil. Turns out that those soil borings have revealed that certain of the pole locations consist of less than adequate density soil. And we have insisted upon the hiring of a licensed engineer to design the installations. They have asked, and we agreed to fund on a very limited basis for additional soil analysis, and that is progressing this week.
So it looks like even at the earliest, the lights would go up now into August rather than into July.
It's difficult to say. I mean, we have to get the foundations designed and signed off on by a licensed engineer, and that firm has felt they need additional soil analysis. We're trying to do it on a timely basis, but we're also trying to do it correctly so that we don't have poles stuck in support systems which cannot support them in that soil.
The autumn leaves are not far away, and the controversial situation of having them as a staging area on a harbor island, what's the latest on that?
The latest on that is that while we were never pleased with the site at Harbor Island, it was the recommendation of the village engineer to use that site. But based upon the fact that we knew that there was a certain amount of citizen concern and concern on the part of the board members as well, we asked the village engineer to look around to see if there were alternatives to the staging area, which would still be environmentally appropriate. And he has found a firm in Bronx, which is a composting firm, and we have solicited bids for the composting of leaves, again, minus a staging area. And as I understand it, although we haven't had the final word, the bid has come in at a very economical level. We will be evaluating the bid documents. He will, along with the village attorney, to make recommendations to the board, but it looks as though we will be able to not only do the leaf pickup much more cheaply than last year, we will not need a staging area at all. The leaves will be carted directly in the DPW trucks down to the Bronx, where they will be composted. One of our concerns, of course, was last year suburban carting took our leaves and dumped them into increasingly precious landfill area. This is a composting operation. It's economical, and we will not need to stage leaves in Harbor Island. So let's hope it works.
Well, that seems like it should make everybody happy.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. Now we're going to start the second segment here. All right. I understand the village of Mamaroneck is involved in some cooperation now with the town of Mamaroneck and the village of Larchmont.
Yes, I think in the first example of what I hope will be increasing numbers of intermunicipal cooperation agreements, the board voted on Monday night to fund a senior citizen check-in program, call-in program. which is that, both the town of Mamaroneck, the village of Mamaroneck, and the village of Larchmont will establish in a centralized location a program where seniors will be called, seniors who wish to be called, will be called every weekday morning between 8:30 and 10:30 by paid employees of the program who will just say, "Are you all right this morning?" And as Paulette Gabriellini indicated, it's more an reliever of anxiety. A lot of seniors and even disabled people who live alone aren't called frequently by their family and their neighbors, and would like the assurance that someone knows they're okay.
Sure.
The funding will be split equally among the 3 municipalities. It's roughly for each of us something less than probably $2,500 a year, but it first of all is a very appropriate program. It's wonderful to see the cooperation. It's something that the seniors need. Interested seniors and disabled people will be hearing more about this, I'm sure, as the program develops, but we're hopeful that it'll get off the ground by the early fall. If seniors are interested in the Village of Mamaroneck, they can call the Human Resources Administration, Shirley Romney, at 381-5500. I do have the number in the town of Mamaroneck, if you'll hold on for just a minute. In the town of Mamaroneck, the town office's number is 834-5671, and it's Paulette Gabriellini, who's the assistant town supervisor there. However, as I said, if you don't have to call right now. If you are interested, there will be time later on as the summer and the fall progresses to sign up. It is anticipated that this service will be offered initially free to seniors and other disabled people.
What's the...
And disabled people, not other.
what about the startup time? What are we looking at?
We're looking at probably, they're hoping for early fall. You know, we're always optimistic that we can get these things off the ground sooner. But, you know, certainly sometime in the fall of early or late of 1990.
Well, it certainly sounds like a very worthwhile project. What other village matters are being talked about?
We have established in the village a manager search committee made up of people who are either professionals in the field of executive search, who are either are or have been involved in village government, or local. We have a village manager, for instance, from Rye Brook, Chris Russo. We may have to do this all segment over again. As a matter of fact, can we just stop right now?
Sure.
Let's stop.
Or we can just keep rolling. We'll.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now,
do you want? Let me just ask you this.
I'll ask the question.
Okay.
Joe Fraioli had his retirement party last week at the yacht club and attended well. The search goes on for a replacement. How is that going?
We have established a manager search committee of 7 individuals, either professionals in executive search, people involved in municipal government, or citizens who have been involved in the Village of Mamaroneck. That group met for the first time on the 12th of July. I understand they're hard at work. The mayor and the trustees have provided them with a profile for the new village manager, and those issues that we think are most crucial for the new village manager to attack. We're very optimistic. The decision on this group of people was made unanimously. It's a nonpartisan search. We are committed to the nonpartisan selection of a village manager, and while the summer is a rather slow time, they are very optimistic that we'll get resumes from many, many qualified individuals, and we'll be able to begin making our selection after Labor Day.
And so is the deadline that you're sort of tentatively set is going to be Labor Day?
Well, we hope to be able to start interviewing after Labor Day. It's impossible to really estimate when we'll actually hire the village manager.
Right. Another quick question is, how is the village run while there is no, quote, formal village manager?
We have named Lenny Verastro, who's the clerk treasurer, to be acting village manager. He's working very hard because he's still maintaining his duties as clerk treasurer. But I speak to him frequently and ask him how things are going, and he seems to be managing just fine. As a matter of fact, he even got a couple days vacation in this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
I
Mike.
have a feeling that I called seniors and other disabled people a couple of times.